believe, but another year has passed since last year's Lynbrook Summer Celebration. Since our final show in September, the Lynbrook Summer Celebration Committee has been hard at work to bring you another summer of pleasure and enjoyment. Hi, I'm Ara Gottesman, and welcome to the Lynbrook Summer Celebration 1991. Quite a bit will be happening this June, so Cablevision and the Lynbrook Summer Celebration Committee hope to see you at all of these events. At the end of the program, we'll give you a list of all these events and a telephone number where you can get additional information. Today, June 8th, kicks off this year's celebration with Lynbrook Safety Day and Craft Fair, two events which in the past have been popular with both children and adults. Stay tuned. I'll tell you more when we return in just a moment.
Alcohol abuse. It hits you right where you live, shattering families.
Shut up, Jennifer!
Leave her
Get out of my way!
Turning our highways into battlefields.
Dispatch, this is 165. We've got a fatal. Send the crew.
Roger, 165.
Alcohol abuse. It doesn't have to hit you where you live. Give your town a fighting chance. Call 1-800-ALCALLS.
Welcome back. Today we're at Grice Park for Lynbrook's Craft Fair and Safety Day. It's warm and mild with a touch of summer in the air. Last year, the Lynbrook Summer Celebration Committee had these two events on two separate days. This year, they decided to combine it into one full day of learning and fun. First on our agenda is Safety Day. Safety Day was created several years ago to inform both parents and their children about personal safety and drug education. It has grown into a major event which includes not only the Lynbrook Police Department, but our Fire Department, the Nassau County Police Department, and the U.S. Coast Guard. I'm speaking with Detective Fred Fusswinkle, who's also the co-chairperson of Safety Day. Hi, Fred.
Hi, Mara. How are you today?
Good, thanks. Fred, tell me, why is Safety Day so important?
Safety Day is important because it's an opportunity for all residents and people in the surrounding area of Lynbrook to come and meet the people who help protect them all year long and learn some safety techniques, learn about crime prevention, learn about fire prevention. There were representatives from federal agencies here talking about drug education and drug prevention, drug awareness. We had a helicopter land to teach the kids how various agencies of county police and village police work together to help protect the Lynbrook community.
It was quite a success last year, and this year it seems that it's really hopping.
I think networking with the ladies who worked so hard to run the craft fair has produced an excellent response from the community, and it's really been a day that the children, the adults, and the senior citizens could get together and have a good time in the park on a beautiful sunny day and learn something in the process.
No age barrier.
No age barrier. There were exhibits of every type for just about every age here today.
Fred, you're also involved in a program called Pride. First, tell me what Pride is and how the program is going.
Pride is the police department's drug prevention education program. The Lynbrook Police Department and its commanding officer, Chief Joe Neve, have made a commitment to drug prevention education and to working with the community to build better relations and to work together to sort of gain a very positive rapport with the children. You can see how many children are down here today, and the program is working quite well. Pride consists of a 9-session program where we go into 5th grade classrooms, and I'm honored to have the position of being able to teach the kids, work with them, work together to talk about drug prevention and to talk about really life skills. We talk about peer pressure, we talk about stress management, we talk about building self-esteem as a way of encouraging our young people to avoid the pitfalls of drug and alcohol abuse. And it's really been quite successful. We have one more graduation going on in our Marion Street School this Wednesday morning.
I think certainly parents and their children did learn a little bit more about personal safety and drug education.
I think so. We had a defensive tactics expert, Mrs. Susan Bartlestone, here today, who works with Victim Services in New York City, and she was gracious enough to come out and donate some time and teach some members of our community how they can learn to protect themselves and just how they can learn to be more assertive and less in fear of being victimized by a crime through their body language, through the way they walk and the way they handle themselves. So it was quite an interesting program that we had down here today.
You did quite a job organizing this event. Thank you. It really was a great success.
Well, thank you very much, Mara. It's nice to be here, and it's nice to always to be interviewed by the ladies from Cablevision.
Thank you, Fred. Some of the many things that have been going on are a Say No to Drugs poster contest, fingerprinting IDs for children, visits by McGruff the Crime Dog and Smokey the Bear, demonstrations of karate for kids, self-defense for women, informational booths by the Lynbrook Fire Department Fire Rescue Squad, the U.S. Customs, the Coast Guard, and Lynbrook's own environmental organization.
We're involved in a project of attempting to get more trees and more plants in the village. We've successfully planted several trees in some of the local pocket parks, and someday we hope to even broaden out to the streets of the village.
And why are you here today?
Well, actually, Detective Fred Fusswinkle had an idea that the Environmental Committee should take a table at Safety Day, and we decided that would be a great idea. So what we're doing is this. They're bird feeders. Can I tell them? Okay. It's a bird feeder. And we're having the children take pine cones, rub them with peanut butter, and then roll them in bird seed. You then hang it from a tree, and the birds go crazy, and the squirrels can't eat them. So actually, our motto for today is the Environmental Committee is for the birds. So that's why we're here.
There are also fire engines on display, a booth devoted to SAD, Students Against Drunk Driving, and a demonstration of the joys of life, a device designed to break apart a vehicle piece by piece when someone is trapped inside in a life-threatening situation. With me is Steve Grogan, former trustee of the Village of Lynbrook and co-chairman of today's Safety Day. There are quite a number of events here that are new. Steve, how do you think the response is going today?
Well, this is our 4th annual event that we've held this Safety Day, and I think by the turnout that we have today, we've really, I think we've outdone ourselves this year. I think we have more children and more grown-ups. Naturally helped that we had our craft fair here in Grice Park today, but all in all, I think it's a fabulous turnout, and we've added some different events this year, or we brought in different organizations to help with Safety Day, and we brought in the FBI, and we brought in the Drug Enforcement Administration, some other local organizations, the Forest Rangers, environmental groups. So a lot of new and different information to provide to the residents of the village.
Do you think it makes a difference that Safety Day and the craft fair are on the same day?
Well, we're hoping that one draws the other to the event. We have the Safety Day in the field here as well as inside the building. We have the craft fair here out on the grounds of Grice Park. So we're hoping that the people that came to the craft fair go inside to Safety Day, and naturally the parents and the children that came to Safety Day go out to the craft fair.
Well, we certainly have a beautiful day for it.
I think this is, we couldn't ask for a better day than we have today. Let's just hope the rest of the summer's like this.
It will be. Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
As Steve mentioned, the National Rifle Association was here, along with representatives from the DEA, FBI, and U.S. Customs, all here to help inform our community about their organizations and safety.
The FBI is primarily an investigative agency. There are over 260 federal violations that we would be working that include crimes against the government, the federal government, different types of interstate theft. You usually hear about the popular ones, bank robbery, fugitives, extortions, kidnappings. We would work all of those violations in conjunction with local agencies.
And why are you here today at Safety Day?
I'm here at Safety Day to represent the FBI, number one, to touch base with the Lynbrook community, also to expose the community not only to the Bureau, but so kids know, parents know the different options that are out there for them with the Bureau, what we do, what we're like, and that they can make contact. We're real people. They can make contact with us.
Do you hold any special events during the year for the community so that they're more informed about the FBI?
Usually not for the communities. Usually most of our work is outside of investigative work, regional recruiting, which is handled by a recruiting detail or team we have in our office. At the request of others, we'll come out and talk to almost any group. I enjoy myself going out to talk with the schools, PTAs, any civic organization that would like me to come in and talk. We usually will have agents that will come out to talk about drugs, auto theft, anything that you might be interested in.
We're the lead agency in the United States, and we enforce the federal drug laws. Anytime drugs come into the country, that's our job, to arrest, investigate major drug organizations.
Okay, and why are you here today?
There are two reasons, primarily two. One is I'm a resident of the community. The second is that I think it's important for law enforcement, not just DEA, FBI, Customs, but also for local police departments like Lynbrook Police Department to get out and get into the community and show people we're just normal people.
And one of the reasons why we're here at Lynbrook is to educate the community on drugs.
Okay, what do you hope to accomplish by educating them on drugs?
I think by educating children from the first grade up through high school, the demand for narcotics and illegal drugs will be diminished. Although we are catching about 15% coming through the border, there's no way we're going to catch that other 85. There's just too much of a border to stop. So I think education and turning children away from drugs and stopping the demand here in the United States will be the key.
With me is Mounted Police Officer Jim Slate from the U.S. Park Police. We're going to find out a little bit more about how these horses are trained. Officer Slate, how are these horses trained?
Well, first of all, the horses are donated from the public. They usually have a 30-day trial period where if they work out, we keep them. Then they go through a 10-week training program with the officers themselves. And basically that's how it works for us.
Where do you get the horses from?
Well, our horses usually come from the Washington, D.C., Virginia, Maryland area, where our training is done in Washington, D.C., and then we ship them up here to New York, where I work, which is Reese Park.
And what's the difference? Do you think it's helpful to have a mounted police officer as opposed to someone on a motorcycle?
Well, like on a day like today where public relations is a big thing, the horse is very good. Most of the time, kids and all kinds of people come up to the horse, and that's a good point. Also, areas where cars or motorcycles can't get to in dense woods and stuff like that, it's a very good tool to have.
How long is it before the horses are trained for duty?
Well, that really depends. I would say at least about 6 months. Okay, every horse is different, and it really depends on the horse.
How old is this one?
This horse is about 13 years old.
And you find that they are tame and that they're okay to let kids get on top of them and ride around the park a little bit?
Each horse is different, but usually that's what we're looking for. A horse that's going to be even-tempered and he's going to be good around children and in large crowds.
Winnie to you too, Mr. Horse. Thank you very much, Police Officer Slate. Thank you. One of the newer demonstrations came from a representative from the Long Island Railroad's Communications Center.
My name is Kenny O'Neill. I'm with the Long Island Railroad Police Department. I am the Community Relations Officer, and I deal with Nassau and Suffolk County. This van that you see here is our emergency command post. It's used in conjunction with other municipalities, basically though for the Long Island Railroad and any disaster we might have. However, it is used with Lynbrook, Nassau County, and New York City Transit Police for any disaster that might happen. It was utilized up at the Avianca plane crash. Central Fire. It also has been used at different propane incidents. One last Friday, that was in Long Island City. Basically, it's an emergency command post containing numerous radios. Why don't we just go inside and I'll give you a good look. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you here. This is how the way the command post is set up. There are 5 radios here that we can talk to any police department on Long Island or in metropolitan New York. State police, we can talk to any ambulance, we can talk to any hospital, we can talk to any railroad train, any railroad freight siding people, anybody. We also have a built-in cell phone. It's on all the time. We also have communications that we can hook up directly to New York Tel. We are also able to provide electricity for ourselves and for other people directly with our generator that puts out 200 amps. We also have capabilities of transmitting 100 watts when our antenna on the outside is up at 50 feet full extension. The reception is very good. Over here are some portable hand units that we utilize when we have our own police officers at an emergency. I would hand them each one of these. They would go out and be assigned a specific post, and I could monitor them through the last radio on the console, the one on the left. It's a completely self-contained unit. It's air-conditioned. It was put together by Captain Frank Obremski and Lieutenant Ray Cuna with the help of the Long Island Railroad, and we have very good rapport with other commands utilizing this in an emergency. now are working in conjunction with the Lynbrook Police Department. Should you have any major disasters in this area that you will require our communications, our van would immediately respond. There are 20 individuals that are qualified to operate this van. Obviously, I'm one of them, out of a 200-man police department. Whoever happens to be working at that particular time when the emergency comes in would be assigned to the van, and it takes only one man to drive and set up the rig. We also have portable generators, portable lights, and a large amount of electrical cable that should anyone else need to have electricity from us, we can provide them with that.
I'm here with Lynbrook's newly elected mayor, Mary Callway. Congratulations, Mayor.
Thank you, and good morning.
Good morning. Tell us about your impressions about Safety Day. What's going on here today?
It is a fantastic day. Inside we have the kid picks to help us identify the children, and outside we have all the exhibits from the different safety organizations as well as Craft Day, and we couldn't have asked for a more perfect day.
It certainly is a gorgeous day. What else is the village doing in order to keep our children safe in addition to Safety Day?
Well, we have a full-time police officer, Detective Fred Fusswinkle, who serves in a capacity where he educates our youth in connection with drug awareness, and that's our major focus. In addition, we now are pretty much up to full force in connection with the police department, and that is always a deterrent to crime. And we have a good working relationship with the schools so that we are aware as to what we can do to help them. And I've already met with one of the principals of the elementary school, and it's just the beginning.
What are your impressions of Safety Day? You think a lot of the kids and parents are really getting a lot out of today?
Absolutely. I'm amazed. The kids and the parents are out at every exhibit, and it really is encouraging.
There's a lot of support here as a team.
Yes, exactly. And I also just want to take this opportunity to thank Trustee Bill Hendrick. He has done a fantastic job with his committee, and it's a large committee, in putting this together for us.
Once again, he did it.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you, and congratulations to you.
Bye-bye.
A highlight of the day came when the Nassau County Police Air Rescue Helicopter landed at Grice Park. The pilot gave a brief talk and demonstration about what the helicopter does, and then had to head out again and get back to work. Safety Day in Lynbrook, not only a meaningful event, but a valuable learning experience. Hopefully today has made both parents and their children a little bit more aware about the importance of safety. Coming up, our next event, the Craft Fair, with music, fun, and a place to do a little shopping.
Judith Jamison for the Foster Care Network.
Good dancers, like good people, are usually not born, they're made. Children learn by example. With encouragement, they learn to move the right way through life. But thousands of New York's children have no one to nurture them, love them, develop their potential. Drugs and poverty have robbed them of that. That's why they need you to become a foster parent. Call the Foster Care Network today, 212-643-0178. With your love, their minds will sing and their hearts will dance.
In its second year with the Lynbrook Summer Celebration, the Craft Fair means fun for everyone and a chance for local craftspeople to show and sell their wares. Last year, I kind of bought out the place, but this year, I'm determined not to overspend. But after looking around, hey, I'm flexible. From jewelry to quilts to picture frames to those little statues you put on your front lawn, there's just about the perfect gift for anyone. year was the first year that the craft fair was originated here at Grice Park, and Lee Hendrick was the chairperson of last year's craft fair. This year, she turned over the responsibility to Clem Becker and Marie Michio. We're going to find out a little bit about how this craft fair is going. Tell us a little bit about this craft fair. How does it differ from last year's craft fair?
Well, we tried to get more vendors. Last year, I believe it was like 32 vendors. This year, we have 55. We try to just stick to handmade craft items, and we have a pretty big variety of items down here, as you can see. But it worked out very well.
Marie, this year the Safety Day is combined with the craft fair as opposed to last year when they were on 2 different days. What's the connection to Safety Day along with the craft fair today?
Well, last year we found that there were parents here with their children, so we also decided at the same time that it should be Safety Day with the craft fair.
How do you think the vendors are doing today?
I think they're doing very well. There seems to be a large turnout, and it's still very early.
And Clem?
Very well. You know, we figured combining it with the Safety Day, we would have the children doing something inside, and the parents can stroll around and peruse the items and buy all that. So I think it went off quite well.
Lee, do you miss not being chairperson this year for this year's craft fair?
Well, I've worked with Marie and Clem and trying to help them and learning what went well this year and what didn't go well. So we've kind of worked together with them, but I'm glad that I was able to turn it over to them, and I think they did a terrific job in putting it together with Safety Day.
I think you did a great job last year, and it's looking good today. So thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
We're at a very interesting booth here with Max. Max makes names out of wire. Max, tell us a little bit about your business.
Well, I'm the only one of its kind in the country that does this type of art. I make you a name while you wait. I have been doing this for 58 years. And this is how I started 58 years ago, by making the name. I make it so perfectly that you think it's made by machine, not by hand. I started this when we organized a ball team during the Depression, and we didn't have enough money to put our names on a jacket, so I went ahead and made one with my fingers, and all the boys on the team wanted one. And I went home and I started making 15 names. My mother saw me make the name, and I didn't know what I was doing at the age of 14, but she was quite impressed with what I was doing, but she never let on that she was impressed. But every time somebody came over to the house, she says, "Mac, make him a name pin." I did that. That kept me in practice. One day she said to her cousin she didn't know what to do with me. He was a jeweler. He came over and he was quite impressed with it. And he got me this pair of pliers and this gold wire. And I started making these names from 4 inches down to this size that you see here. And the name is made with a pin and catch all out of one piece. Well, I started going out with girls at that time, and I made my girlfriend a pin. She was quite impressed with it, and she showed it to her girlfriends. They all wanted one. She asked me if I wanted to go into business. I said, why not? And her girlfriend started selling them. 2 weeks later, I went to a local printer and had cards printed up, Freeman Jewelry Company. That's how I started 58 years ago. And I have a patent on this thing since 1941.
You are a true inspiration, Max.
And this is how I looked 50 years ago.
You don't look a day older.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You're a very creative man. Does that mean that we're going steady?
Anytime, kiddo.
A very interesting man, a very creative idea.
Take a look at that.
And I am well adorned. Thank you very much.
Very good.
With me in this beautiful setting is Bill Hendrick, the chairperson of the Lindbergh Summer Celebration Committee. Hi, Bill.
Hi, Mara. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Very nice. We had a nice day today, didn't we?
It was a beautiful day. Tell us, how did things go overall?
Well, as you know, we're behind us, and I think you've done some program all day long. You've shown the residents our beautiful safety day and craft fair and schedule of events. Right behind me now, the fire department is giving a Hearst tool demonstration. We've had a helicopter land today, which is on film. We have over 60, 70 vendors. We've had 14 or 15 different police agencies here. We've done kid picks, fingerprints. I think that we had a very successful day.
What's the feedback from parents about today?
Well, the parents and the kids seem to enjoy it. There's something here for everybody. And of course, when you have the kind of demonstrations like we've had, especially helicopters and what I've mentioned, all people are kids, even the parents. I know I was very excited when the helicopter landed.
Yeah, I was too. There's a lot of new stuff this year that we didn't have last year.
Yes, we had a much bigger event. We added the craft fair and combined Safety Day and the craft day, and I think it went very well. They worked hand in hand together.
Do you think that was good to have Safety Day on the same day as the craft fair?
I think so. I think you have a crowd of people that come out for Safety Day that are attracted by the vendors and vice versa. So it opens up an avenue of interest to everyone.
Okay, that's about it for this show.
Well, should we?
Yeah, sure. That's a good idea.
If I take a minute, I'll go on and I'll let you know, and I know you know because you're on the committee, but we can let the people know what's up.
Yeah, we're going to find out about a little bit more about what's coming up this summer event-wise.
Okay, we have Monday the 10th of June is awards night, Man and Woman of the Year, awards for beautification of various homes in the Lynbrook area. On Thursday the 20th through June 3rd, I'm sorry, is a St. Anthony's Feast and Carnival down here, which I know that I've seen you at on the rides.
Yeah, I've been eating my way through the little
the rides anyway. And then our Shoppers Fair, the first one is on June 22nd, which will be down Atlantic Avenue, where all the shoppers and merchants go on the avenue and show their merchandise. And it's a nice day, different foods and snickels and snacks and everything for everyone.
Bring your pocketbook for that.
Bring your pocketbook, that's right. Support our local merchants. And then the August 3rd is the second Shopper Street Fair, which I hope will be as successful as the first, which we haven't had yet. We'll go on to the Teen Dance, which is June 26th, down here at Grice Park in the Frank Galata building. Last year we had over 100 teens there. I think we'll probably have as many with a DJ and a band.
Ready to boogie again
Ready
this
to
year,
boogie
Bill?
this year, and Cablevision filmed it, so we can go back and look at those outtakes and add the new ones.
I don't think so.
Okay, we won't. And then the June 10th is the 50s concert down here at the park. I'm sorry, July 10th is the 50s concert. And July 19th down here will be the Nassau Pops concert, sponsored by Chase, with a nice donation from Chase Manhattan. It'll be a John Philip Sousa program. I think we had about 600 people last year, didn't we?
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
And it was a very nice night. Bring your folding chair. And August 21st is a big band concert down here. And finally is our road race in September, which is currently sponsored by Fidelity Bank, and I believe going to be co-sponsored by Cablevision. So we have a summertime of events, a nice schedule, something for everyone, and I like to see when everybody goes out and does it. And I thank you for all your help in getting it out to the public.
It's a lot of fun. We hope to see you at all of these events. Come out and join us. It's a lot of fun. Well, now you've got the events and the dates. The next part is to give you the phone number for additional information. 599-8000. That's the Lynbrook Recreation Center. Did you guys have fun today?
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah.
Want to hear about the next event?
Sure.
Okay. Our next event will focus on Lynbrook's Award Night at Village Hall. I hope to see you on that special occasion. Right now, I think I'm going to go back to those booths and see what crafts I've missed. For Cablevision in Lynbrook, I'm Mara Gottesman. See you soon.